Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see fourth-year quarterback Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys as they square off against second-year man Sam Darnold and the new-look New York Jets. With that, we head up to MetLife Stadium as we'll hand it over to the two men that'll call the action, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. It's been a lost first month of the season, that's for sure, as they come in with an 0-4 record.
And the window's not shut on them, though. They still have a chance to make something out of this season, but it has to start right now.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Jets work their way onto the field, led by the number 3 overall pick in 2018, Sam Darnold. And during the offseason, Darnold was asked where he was looking to improve. He told everybody being more comfortable in the pocket. You look back to the numbers from his rookie campaign, 17 touchdowns and 13 starts. So just imagine what a relaxed and more experienced Darnold might be able to accomplish with a stronger set of receivers now here in 2019. A first down throw, Darnold. And his first look is incomplete. Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL, and now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Darnold. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down. Now a first down carry by Bell. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
From just shy of midfield, Darnold, and Thomas has it. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 22-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
He'll have a first down inside the 10. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. 15 yards on the play, first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 5 catches, 58 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is
Now Bell hit. He lost the football. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? A shotgun snap for Darnold. That is caught by Anderson for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jets take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys under head coach Jason Garrett as they get set for their first opportunity. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen, and I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque there.
I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people said, hey, that's too much, too far, and maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that.
The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
It's so good to see big number 72, Travis Frederick, back in a Cowboys uniform. Remember, he missed all of last season with Guillain-Barré syndrome. And prior to that, he'd been to the Pro Bowl 4 straight times at center. And his return, a huge boost to the offensive line. Better to have him in uniform than coaching.
And that's Elliott, complete. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Prescott to throw on 4th. That's to his running back, complete. And able to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And the Jets are going to get the football back. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
The reception good for 7. It's third down. And the Cowboys here on third down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Darnold from the gun. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
You see me? You see me? They can't stop me out here.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
On fourth down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep is Tavon Austin. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Draw play, Elliott. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 11 yards there, first down. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. Here's Prescott. Caught by Cobb. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Hey, kill, kill. Kill, kill. 47, 26.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
Basically, you're not going to outwork two guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else for the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there and a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And this is caught. It's Cooper. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. They come out here in the eye. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal. Now Elliott. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's second and goal. They'll try again with Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott. His 6th touchdown of the season as they are now on the board here in the first half. So a late touchdown here just before the half, and that obviously changes the dynamic of this game.
Yeah, in a couple of ways, partner, because they've been shut out up until this point. So now at least they go into the locker room, and Uncle Mo may be creeping over to their side to talk to them a little bit. And second, they're right back in the football game, an extra point away from tying things up.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Later tonight, we have more football. Sunday night football, a good one out west. Steelers and Chargers might see equal amounts of black and gold mixed with a powder blue in the stands for that one. And then tomorrow, Monday night football, Detroit and Green Bay battle in the NFC North from Lambeau Field. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack.
Go ahead, take a seat. You can't stop me.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. A 10-point victory in the end. 24-14, the final. From there, we head out west to the Golden State. Check on the Rams at home in L.A. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. Jared Goff has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they were losers in their ball game as they fall to the visiting Washington Redskins. 24-0 is your final. Meanwhile, in our game, each team able to manage just one touchdown apiece. 7-7 is our score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Tenth carry now for Elliott. Tackle by Jordan Willis.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Crowder now to return. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. They'll run it with Bell. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. Darnold on 3rd down. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
On 1st down, Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field.
Again, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Goes underneath for Bell. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. To throw is Prescott. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And he goes out right around the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action now. Prescott. Got his man there complete to Gallup. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. 7-7 is our score. Pretty even matchup so far as we start quarter number 4. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a gain of 16 and a Dallas first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on first. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
And New York set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Darnold on the catch. It's Crowder. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The throw by Darnold, hauled in by the tight end Herndon.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Now a draw play. This is Bell. And a tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good size run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
12 yards on the return that time, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Cowboys to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. They start on the ground with Elliott. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Decent start defensively to this series. They've got to stop them here and get this ball back.
I like the way you phrase that, partner. Decent start, but now it's got to be more about the ball. It's all about the ball, getting it away from them, because making good tackles is one thing, but the clock will run out on you. You got to have the football back for your offense.
A gain of 13. It's a first down. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Shift. We're going to 53.
Here's Prescott. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
Get ready. Kill.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Again, it's Elliott, and he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Watch the screen. Pass.
They'll run on first down. It's Elliott. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with a tackle.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for the Cowboys, they remain as hot as anyone.